These are in listen-only mode.
Hi everyone, this is Barb Bruno, and I want to welcome you to today's webinar where we're going to talk about the top producer tutor. It's interesting because I just returned from the Fordyce Forum in Dallas, Texas, and I can tell you after talking to the economists that were there and many companies that are represented nationwide, there is nothing but positive news for our profession in the next several years. You know, all the trends, everything that we look for is happening right now in the marketplace. So the market has really improved, but I guess what I want to ask all of you are a few questions before we start. If your business, had a tremendous influx in orders, contracts or assignments, could you add 10 people to your business right now without it having a negative impact? And it's interesting because many people at the Fordyce Forum were planning to hire, but they were like, can I afford to hire? And many of them realized they can't afford not to hire, but that it would definitely impact their bottom line because, it would basically take attention from other things if, in fact, they had new people start. If you had an investor wanting to open 5 offices exactly like yours, and this is a scenario that someone was actually faced with a couple months ago. They had an investor walk in their office, they loved the business, they wanted to invest, and they wanted to open 5 offices just like theirs. Could the systems in your present business be easily duplicated, or do you even have systems and processes? And if something happened to you, would your business continue to flourish? It's interesting, what's going on out there because there's 3 keys that I notice in every successful staffing and recruiting firm. Number 1, they have consistent, repetitive, and comprehensive training. Number 2, they know how to leverage the time and knowledge of the owner, and they implement systems. The market has improved, and I don't think any of us would question that, but has your bottom line. So think about this for a moment. The market is healthier than it's been in months, in fact, in years. It's the best right now. So has your bottom line increased? Are you making more profits? And if you're not, what exactly do you need to change? And how do you get your recruiters to produce more? It's so funny because I've been probably to at least 12 or 13 conferences so far this year, and I always have owners come up to me and say, I know my people can produce more. Of course they can, but will they? And are you giving them the tools they need to be able to produce more? Do you need to upgrade or hire? And this is another scenario I hear from a lot of owners where some of my people are not producing. Your people are either an asset or a liability. And I know for years I believed that my people were my greatest assets. And then after being in business a number of years, I realized that's not necessarily true. The right people are an asset. But if you have the wrong people working for you, they can actually prevent your success. So is it time for you to upgrade or hire? And how will you find time to train somebody new if you do hire them? I want to ask you 2 more questions. What profits do you lose if your team does not have the proper training? If you've got people that are not producing, is it the market? I don't think so. Is it your niche? Probably not, because most niches are doing, quite well right now, but have they been properly trained? And if you work a desk and manage, how much money do you lose in personal production while you're conducting the training? Change mandates additional training and implementation, and even if you enjoy training, is it best use of your time? Or should you be focusing right now on increasing profits and growing your company? It was interesting because at the Fordyce Forum, they had a merger and acquisition team there to basically tell owners what their businesses were worth. And I think every one of you on the line, if you're an owner or a manager, wouldn't you like to know what your business is worth? And so they were giving some criteria of how you judge the value of your business. And I think many of the people in the audience that were in direct placement, strictly full-time placement, were very upset when they realized that unless they added contract and temp before they sold, chances were they weren't going to get much money at all for their business. Another thing that really impacted the value of a company was consistent training. They said that when they go in to evaluate a business, they want to see if there's a consistent training program that basically everybody is working from the same playbook. See, we can actually be your training department if you don't have one, or we can provide more horsepower for you if you do have a training program. According to a recent Department of Education study, and quite frankly, this intrigued me. I found this very interesting. They said when designing any kind of training program, repetition is key to programming your company to run like a machine. If you want a lean, mean sales machine, if you want to make more money and you want to grow your business, your people have to be doing things identical. The Department of Education also said that online students demonstrated better performance than those who received face-to-face instruction. I knew that online training was, basically very popular now, but I didn't realize that in universities, basically the students taking the online training are getting better grades. and basically are demonstrating better performance than those who are in the classrooms. And training delivered online in your office is the effective and cost-efficient way to train, your experienced team as well as your rookies. And I think the proof is, think about the last time you sent somebody away for training, whether it was to a conference, a seminar, you sent them to a training program. What happens is it's information overload, and when they come back, they retain very little of it. It's almost like drinking from a fire hose, and now there's nobody to implement what they've learned. And so most people, when they go to training sessions, come back and they do things the exact same way. By you rotating core materials regularly, the same concepts are constantly reinforced and reiterated. So no matter how you're training your people, make sure that you're training the same things over and over again so that everybody, understands what your processes are. And basically, skills are impacted permanently with consistent reputation. When you get all of your people speaking the same language and following standardized procedures, everybody shares a deep and rich pool of the same knowledge, which results in a much higher level of success in production. Now, what differentiates our Top Producer Tutor from other training programs out there? There's a number of things. Number one, it's structured, it's consistent, and comprehensive. And by the way, it doesn't take more than 15 minutes a day. There's daily notes in the tutor, which basically ensures accountability. We have tests every 5 days, and that proves the retention of the information learned. There's live weekly webinars, and these could actually be your weekly training meetings, as well as biweekly coaching calls. Your individuals have the ability to hear and learn from questions asked by recruiters across the globe during the live calls. And again, I go back to number one, which is probably the most important thing, is that this training is consistent and comprehensive. 62% of staffing and recruiting firms basically went out of business between 2009 and 2011, which shows that the business model, that most people have is broken. What differentiates our Top Producer 2 is we're the only program that has guest experts monthly. We provide support through instant message and email, and we have a comprehensive library. Imagine this. If you have somebody that can't interview properly, they can go to the library under the interview topic, and there's probably 15 or 20 programs on interviewing, on recruiting, on increasing sales, on marketing. No matter what they want, in addition to the tutor itself, you've got this comprehensive library of all those recorded live calls. Seeing is actually believing, and so what I want to do now is I'm going to switch my screen here, and I want you to I want to show you the Top Producer Tutor, because I think when you see it, you get a much better feeling for it. And by the way, if any of you would like access to the tutor, we'll give you a username and a password, and you can go into this tutor and you can look for yourself. Because I think if you go in here and click around, that's when you really get the feel for the tutor. But this is what your people would do every day. They would put their username and password, and if they lose their password, the system assigns it automatically. And you can see they've got a phone number for technical assistance or any kind of assistance. We also have instant messaging. If you've got somebody in our tutor program and they have a question on the training, they don't come to you, they come to our team, and we answer any questions they have. What you're looking at right now is an owner's homepage. The recruiter's homepage has a lot less on it, but since most of you are owners and managers, I wanted to show you the owner and manager homepage. And you can see it's very easy to follow. The events, these under the event tab here, these are all the live calls that we have coming up this month. You can see this Wednesday, I'm doing Become a Great Negotiator. Then we have a coaching call on the 17th. On the 19th, we have Effectively Overcome Client Objections. And on the 26th, we're doing Best Use of Your Time. We're showing your recruiters how to be more efficient, because they can produce more, but only if they change some habits. The My To-Do list under here lists the classes that your people would be taking. I'm going to click on the Top Producer Recruiter Tutor to actually show you what one day's training looks like. When your people get to their desk every morning, we suggest that they log into the tutor, they listen to this video, and the video is, roughly 2 to 3 minutes of training. It's just giving them an overview of the day, and then you can see we've got a sample schedule of the day here where they can see what they should be doing through different parts of the day. And by the way, 85% of our students are experienced recruiters that basically we elevate their production, and about 15% are brand new hires. So the nice thing about our program is 100% of our clients have increased sales. And so what they're going to do is they're going to listen to the video, they're going to read the training, and then at the last day of the training, they're going to write down what they learned that day. If they don't write down what they've learned, the tutor just sits on this specific day. And so there's accountability. If somebody doesn't, do their training that day, when they get to work the next day, the same day is sitting on their homepage. And so, they can take a day every day. And the reason we do this, the core program is 80 days. It's because they get 15 or 20 minutes of training a day for 80 days. They're writing down notes. They're taking tests. So as the person who, invested in this program, that you're going to see a difference in their production because it takes 21 days to form new habits. There's a search function at the top here where say they're having problems with counteroffers. They can type in the word counteroffer and get a list of all the different training in the program that covers counteroffer or any other topic. The licenses here, once you own our Top Producer Tutor, it will cost you exactly $50 a person, a one-time charge to put them through the Top Producer Tutor program as long as they work for you. So imagine that. For $50, they can have live calls, all the training, as long as they work for you. And the classes, we have different classes that we offer, but with the Top Producer Tutor, they get the Top Producer Tutor as well as our Temp and Contract class, which complements the tutor. I mentioned the library, and I do want to show that to you because I think that one of the greatest assets in this program are all the conference calls we've done. And if I go down to this bottom icon, the training conference calls, this is where you've got 300 webinars. Imagine what you would pay for one live webinar. And not only are they training calls, but there's also questions and answers that are being asked by the other recruiters on the call. So your people can see, they can basically watch the training, listen to it. And by the way, if they don't want to stay here and watch the training, they can download all these programs on an MP3 player and listen to it when it's convenient for them. As an owner, you can add content to the tutor. You can add the training you're doing to a proprietary folder in the tutor. You can also announce events. So this really does become a very structured way that you can deliver training, whether you're a one-person operation, whether you're multi-office, with various offices, various managers. And there's 3 levels to this tutor. The owner, which is you, and you can obviously add things and change things. There's a manager, and the manager level, they can see the people under them, but they can't see other managers. And then there's the recruiter, and all the recruiter can do is come in here and learn. And this is not a resource that they use and then put on the shelf. They will use this training program for the entire time that they're employed by you. And I can tell you, many recruiters that I've talked to, one of the reasons people leave a job is they're not getting trained. And so this ensures that your people are getting the latest, greatest training as well as a comprehensive training program that will help them elevate their success. I don't want to spend too much time in the tutor because I do respect all of your time, so I'm going to go back to our PowerPoint presentation. But again, I can give you an hour of access to this program. All you have to do is call the number at the bottom of the page. I'd like you to write down that number right now. This is the number to my office because really seeing is believing. And you can get free access for an hour and just click around and see if, in fact, this is something that you think could help your people, produce more and basically elevate success. I mentioned before that many recruiting firms went out of business in the years 2009 to 2011. Interestingly enough, 62% of staffing and recruiting firms closed during 2009 to 2011. Less than 5% of our tutor clients closed during that same period of time, and that's no coincidence. And many of the people that were our tutor clients that did not, make it through 2009 and 2011, they were not actively participating in our program at the time. So do I believe that we can help you through whatever happens and, now and in the future? The answer is yes, because we have 5 years of experience doing exactly that. Training is off your desk. You can focus on increased profits. The training is available 24/7, so whenever your people want to learn, they can learn. We update the materials weekly, so it's the latest, greatest. We also support this program. So basically, we don't just give you a program and then walk away. We support it for you. The 80-day core program does have that consistent repetition that can change bad habits. And this becomes a lifetime training resource for your sales team. And I can tell you this will also enhance the value of your company if you ever go to sell. And the weekly testing proves that your individuals that are in our program are retaining the information. I want to answer many of the questions I'm asked when people, review our program. Is it for a particular niche? No. I've got, anything from people that are placing the C-suite, from CEOs, CFOs to CIOs, to people that are doing light industrial temp are using our program, and everything in between. I have many IT, contract and direct recruiters, medical, every niche out there, can utilize this program. After you take the 80-day program, do you have access to all the training you completed? Absolutely, as long as somebody works for you. Do our recruiters specializing in contract complete the 80-day program as well as the temp and contract tutor? The answer is yes. Everybody participates in the 80-day program, and the 16-week is an add-on for people that are doing temp and contract. Does everybody that work for you have to be on the same day? No, because people will miss work. They won't get to training some days. As long as they conduct their training by midnight that night, and write down their notes, the tutor will flip over to the next day, but you will not have everybody on the same day. Do you pay extra for all of the live or additional training that we provide? There is a $30 a month charge, and that's for all the upgrades, and that basically is for the bandwidth and maintaining the program and all the upgrades we put in it. So it's $30 a month for your company. That's not $30 a month per person or it's per company. Why do I include sales, legal, and technology training? Once a week, you're going to get pure sales training. Once a week, you're going to get legal training, and once a week, you're going to get technology training. And if you live in Canada, you're going to get the laws for the province you live in. If you live in the United States, you're going to get those laws. We sell this in 9 countries right now. And the reason you have to have the legal training and the sales training is it's a sales profession. And if your people don't know the employment laws, and I can tell you they're going to dramatically change in the next 12 to 24 months. And so we'll add the new laws in as they're passed. But, you want to stay in business, and if your people do something illegal, they can cost you your business. How do you motivate senior recruiters to participate? All we have to do, we do a kickoff for you, and we tell them this is going to make you more money, and believe me, when they think they can make more money, they're motivated to participate. 100% of our tutor clients have experienced increases in production, sales, and profits. And just so all of you know, that's the only reason I train. I train so you can make more money and you can make more profits. Our program helps replace old habits with new productive ones. And many of the changes are subtle, but they will provide very quick results which get your people motivated. And also, we improve time management efficiency, because we show them how to handle emails. We show them how to eliminate a lot of the greatest time wasters. You might be sitting there going, well, how soon can I get a return on my investment? If you make one additional placement or fill as a result of the tutor training, you've more than made back your entire investment. And pricing is really based on the size of your company and your company's training needs, and that's why all you would have to do is call our office. We can give you, the demo link. We'll give you a username and password, and also, once we have a chance to talk to you, we can give you a quote. If you'd like a more in-depth demo, say that you're a part of a large organization and you'd like us to just walk you through the tutor and give you a demo, we can also do that. We can walk you through and show you exactly where things are. I gave you a very quick overview because there's so much, it's almost like information overload on a demo. So I just tried to give you a quick overview. We also have a more in-depth demo link if you'd like to see that walks you through a lot of detail of the Top Producer Tutor itself. To enhance this for all of you, we have bonuses that we do, and this is a bonus that we offer usually once or twice a year, and we're offering in the month of June. We have a strategic management tutor that is a 26-week program that sells for the same price as a Top Producer Tutor. Anybody that invests in our Top Producer Tutor during the month of June is going to get the strategic management tutor free. And there's one more thing that we're putting, one more enhancement. The first 3 people who participate, who basically invest as a result of this webinar, are also going to get 1 hour of free consulting with me. I basically put out my consulting at $500 an hour. So if in fact you do need training, you're looking and thinking, I want to increase sales, I want to increase profits, I need to hire, I don't want to take the time to train, this could be your solution. And if you invest this particular month, you're obviously going to get, the strategic management tutor free. And that's a course that anybody that's signed up for the Top Producer Tutor that you want to participate in that program can. So if you've got 6 or 7 managers, if it's just you, whoever is in management can participate in that program. And then the first 3 people who participate on today's call that do invest will get 1 hour of free consulting with me, so I can really help you get set up for the last 6 months of this year. So I would encourage any of you to call today to set up access. You've got the number in front of you. And now I want to open the lines for your questions. You can ask me questions one of two ways. I see I've already got a question down below. You can either click on your name, and there's a little yellow hand there. If you put a PIN number in, I gave you a call-in number, an access code, and a PIN number. If you put the PIN number in, you can unmute your lines, and then I can talk to you one-on-one. If, in fact, you did not put that in, you can go down below to the word questions, type in a question, and I would be glad to answer any questions you have. Can you send me a login for TPT? I'm working on getting resolved so I can get started with you. Yes. We'll get that over to you, Troy. We will get you a username and a password so you can actually get into the tutor and click around. We would love to do that for you. Another question here. How long will it take to see results? It's interesting because what happens mostly is owners buy this for new hires, and then about 3 weeks in, we usually get a phone call from the owner putting everybody on the program because the new people sound really good, and they've got a better voicemail they leave on their phone. They're overcoming objections quicker. They're doing more education-based selling, which is what's working now in the marketplace. And so it usually takes 3 weeks when the owners like put everybody on this. So results are pretty quick, and I can tell you this jump starts new hires. We suggest you start new hires on the recruiting side of the sale, working on your hottest orders because that's how you're going to make money the quickest. So the return on this investment is pretty quick. How many people have you put through your program? In the past 5 years, we have a little over 26,000 recruiters worldwide who have gone through our program. So that's 26,000 recruiters, and that's in 9 countries that have actually gone through our program. And I can tell you, we have never had one owner come back to us and say the program didn't work, we didn't increase profits. So we know this program works. It's, is this something that could really, enhance your company? As an owner, I can tell you that I used to not hire at certain times because I didn't have time to train. I'm no different than you are. Now when we hire, I don't have to be here because my people go through this program. And I only add things that work. So everything in this program is proven effective. So we know if somebody goes through our training program, we know that they're going to learn, they're going to learn how to do this the right way. We are a small boutique firm. We are the owner and one experienced recruiter. Should I as an owner participate? Absolutely. I think, Lynn, that it's very important that the owner is on the same page with your recruiter. And it's interesting because I have a lot of people that participate in our program that are sole proprietors, and what they've decided to do is hire some virtual people, but they never had a way to train somebody virtual. Now they can. They can put them on the tutor and maybe only having them work the candidate side of the business. So yes, as an owner, I think it's very important that you go through this as well as your person. And I could tell you something else, Lynn. The Fordyce Forum was a lot of small boutique owners, and if I heard one thing over and over again, is that you feel alone. When you're a small business owner and you're a boutique firm, you really don't know what's going on out there. And what's really valuable, Lynn, owner to owner, is I do 2 owner calls a month. My first webinar every Wednesday is nothing but owners and managers. My second coaching call every month is owners. And you can ask me any questions you want, but you listen to the questions being asked by other owners. And I have a lot of sole proprietor that are our tutor clients, and they said, I feel part of a community. When I'm hearing other people talk, I realize I'm not the only one facing these things. And what we try to do, Lynn, is be very proactive. If we see something coming down the road, we try to inform you of how to get set up. It's almost like if you were on a bobsled. If you start to adjust your body on a bobsled, when you're in the turn, you're going to fly off the track. The minute you see the curve ahead, you've got to start leaning in toward that curve. That's what we help you do. We want to make sure that we're looking way ahead, and if we see a turn in the road for any of you, we keep you informed way before you're there so you can, anticipate trends and be on top of things. So for a small boutique owner, yes, I would say go through this. Let your recruiter go through this and participate on the calls live because you will learn so much from the other owners. Let's see. I am one of those owners that went from 19 people to 3. Wish I met you in 2009. Is it too late to turn this around? I'm tired. You know, Tom, I talked to a lot of owners, and I think that those owners that weren't prepared for what was going to happen did get clobbered in those 2 years. But I can tell you, if I had one wish, it would be that I was 30 years old right now, because the best is yet to come. I look at what's coming down the road for recruiters, and I'm going to share a couple other pieces of information. I want you guys to get out a pen now, because this is going to help you. I'm going to do just a little bit of training here, okay? It's interesting because there's so many things happening that are going to make you money. For instance, the retiring baby boomers. If you're doing contract and temp, start asking every client you have, do you have any baby boomers retiring? And would you like to convert them over to be contractors? That has made a fortune for many of my clients, because clients aren't ready for the baby boomers to retire, and so that's going to give you a great, even if you're not in the business and you want to get in it, say you just do direct placement and you're like, I'm by myself, I don't want to do contract. You would be amazed at how much money you can make on contract placements. And if you've got questions about that, we show you how to basically get there. If you want to open a new niche, we have a 15-step program that shows you how to do that step by step. But there was something interesting. I was the only one from our profession at a conference in San Diego 2 months ago, and I was astounded because they said by 2015, we're talking in 2 years, 75% of the newly created jobs are only going to use 4 degrees. So if you're thinking, where should I put myself? Where are the trends? Where are the growth areas? I was astounded that every economist there was in agreement. Every major CEO of major corporations were in agreement that in 2 years, 75% of all new jobs are only going to use 4 degrees. I want you to write this down, because whether you sign up for my training or not, this is going to help you make the right decisions for your company. Those 4 degrees are engineering, IT, science, and math. So regardless of what you're placing now, if you think that 75% of all new jobs are only going to use 4 degrees, engineering, IT, science, and math, should you be doing something in one of those areas? Should you be thinking about that when 75% of all newly created jobs are going to be there? And they said by the year 2020, robotics is going to be as big of an impact on our lives and on the economy as the internet is right now. So, that's already happening in the automotive industry. It's going to happen really big in the pharmaceutical industry. So these are just some of the things. I attend conferences. I'm always learning things because I basically want to teach you. And so I would seriously invite all of you, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain by spending an hour in this program. And so all you have to do is call my office. You've got the number right there. Set up a free access. Or if you want to learn more about the tutor, we can send you a link to the tutor. I can have somebody in my organization do a one-on-one demo with you and show you a lot more of the content. But I have people that want to customize it. They think they want to customize it. And after they go through the program, none of them have. We have some franchise groups that use this as their training. And I find it interesting that major companies like MRI and Express and some of the largest firms in the country use me as their trainer. And so I think that speaks well for the quality of the training that we deliver. And I would love nothing more than to have you be the next person that I help increase your sales, your profits, and your income. I see no more questions, so I do respect your time. I try to hold these calls to 30 minutes, and we're right there. If you have any questions, if you'd like to set up access, please call that number. And remember, if you invest in the month of June, you're not only going to get the top producer tutor and the temp and contract tutor, you're going to get our strategic management tutor, a 26-week program, and you're also going to get 1 hour of consulting with me if in fact you decide that you want to be one of the first 3 that participate. So I feel comfortable with recommending this program because for one reason, I know it works. And so when I first launched this, I had beta testers, but now we've had so many people go through our program. I know that I can help you make more money. I hope you plan to join us, and I appreciate you being with me today. Thanks so much.